So back when you were in high school, or if you are still in high school, you may be one of those people who was a bit jealous of other people or competitive with others. There was always that one kid in class who got special treatment from the teacher, or that one meathead jock who had all the friends and got all the girls for no reason. Point is, everyone is better than someone at something, even in sports. Some cities just win more than others all the time. When it comes to professional sports, successful cities like Chicago, Boston, and New York have so much to flaunt that it makes all these other sports cities jealous. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into the 10 saddest sports cities in North America. Number 10, Toronto. The only city in the Great White North to have an NBA and MLB team also has a legendary Toronto Maple Leafs. And by legendary, we mean legendary half a century ago. You see, the Leafs have the second most Stanley Cups with 13, but they haven't even won the Cup or reached the Stanley Cup Finals since 1967. The Blue Jays won back-to-back World Series in 1992 and 1993, but they've made the playoffs twice since then. And the Raptors? You mean the team that has won just 3 playoff series in 21 years of existence? Yeah. Beautiful city, though. You should check it out if you haven't been there. Number 9, Minnesota. Since moving to Minnesota, the Twins have a pair of World Series championships, but haven't won it all since 1991. They've been one of baseball's absolute worst teams of the 2010s after constant playoff meltdowns in the 2000s. The Wild have only been in the NHL for a decade and a half. Still, they only have 4 playoff series wins in their history. The Vikings haven't won a Super Bowl. They also haven't been in one since 1976 thanks to kickers often missing field goals in the playoffs. The Timberwolves entered the NBA in 1989, and they only have 1 division title and haven't made the playoffs since 2004. There's a lot to love about the state of Minnesota, but its sports team's lack of success doesn't give the fans much to love. Number 8, Nashville. We aren't even going to consider the Memphis Grizzlies, who are, well, in Memphis. The Nashville Predators joined the NHL in 1998, yet they only have 3 playoff series wins in their history. This isn't a joke of an organization, but the best part about this team's history is having Carrie Underwood show up at games, because her husband Mike Fisher plays for them. The Titans, well, aside from that trip to Super Bowl 34, the Titans faithful haven't had much to celebrate. They haven't made the playoffs since the 2008 season. Number 7, San Diego. You have a future Hall of Famer and quarterback Phillip Rivers, the best player in franchise history. You have one of the NFL's top 3 tight ends ever to live, in Antonio Gates. You also had the 2006 MVP and star running back LaDainian Tomlinson, and yet the Chargers couldn't reach 1 Super Bowl with this team. Now they lose every year despite consistent 4,000-yard seasons from Rivers. The Chargers have yet to win a Super Bowl because of poor managing by the front office. As for the Padres, playing in the 1998 World Series and last making the playoffs in 2006 was fun, right? Number 6, Buffalo. Scientists have yet to discover if Bigfoot exists and what in the world a UFO really is. We also have yet to be given a logical explanation for how on earth the Bills made 4 straight Super Bowls in the early 90s, yet they found a way to lose each and every one of them. Not only that, but the Bills haven't even made the playoffs since 1999. And the Sabres, a team that hasn't been around since 1970 that hasn't won a Stanley Cup in its history or reached the finals since 1999, we feel for Buffalo fans, especially because New York Yankees, Rangers, and Giants are always winning. Number 5, Milwaukee. Hey, the Packers have 11 NFL championships in their history plus 4 Super Bowl championships. Unfortunately, the Packers play in Green Bay, 120 miles away from Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Brewers have made the playoffs 4 times since moving there in 1970. They even lost in the 1982 World Series. And as for the Bucks, the NBA championship back in 1971 was pretty cool, when Richard Nixon was president and Jaws was 4 years away from hitting a theater near you. Other than that, poor Milwaukee fans. Number 4, Charlotte. The Hurricanes, who play in Raleigh, at least won the 2006 Stanley Cup, but the Panthers, who entered the NFL in 2005, have often been more bad than good. And when they were good, we're talking about some crushing losses in Super Bowls 38 and 50. As for the Hornets, 3 playoff appearances since their inception in 2004-2005, no playoff series wins. It's sad in Charlotte. Ric Flair would be very disappointed. Number 3, Cincinnati. Sure, the Reds have one of baseball's most historic franchises, which dates all the way back to 1882. They have 5 World Series championships, but haven't won it all since 1990. 2 playoff appearances since 1996, none of which resulted in wins, does not look good either. And the Bengals, they have reached 2 Super Bowls but lost both. They haven't won a playoff game since 1990. They just find new ways to let playoff wins slip away every year. Number 2, Washington. The only thing that the Capitals are doing is wasting year after year from franchise icon Alexander Ovechkin. 50 goals every year, no trips to the Stanley Cup. The Caps haven't even played in the finals since 1998. The Nationals moved over from Montreal in 2005. They made the playoffs in 2012, 14, and 16, but have yet to win a playoff series. The Redskins haven't won a Super Bowl in 25 years. Giddy up. But their 3 Super Bowls can't be laughed at. The Washington Wizards won the NBA championship in 1978 when they were the Bullets. Not a lot of success in 2.5 decades. Wouldn't it be nice for an American president to welcome a Washington-based team to the White House for once? Number 1, Cleveland. Up until the Cavaliers shockingly won the 2016 NBA championship, it had been 52 years since a Cleveland-based sports team won a championship. The Indians owned the longest World Series drought, last winning it in 1948. By the way, they choked away Game 7 of the 1997 and 2016 World Series. And the Cavaliers have won NBA title since joining the league in 1970. All those LeBron James teams, they've just netted one. One, I said. And the Browns, well, let's just say people consider them to be the worst franchise in sports. Must we go on? Which other sports cities do you think are extremely sad? Join us in the comments below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.